Hi class, and welcome to Math 100G. I want to start off this video by just welcoming everybody to the class. It's great to have you. I hope that you all had a great Christmas and a great New Year's. And now that we're into the second week of January, you're ready to get back into the swing of the classes. So welcome to the class. My name's Brother Stephen Dixon, and I'm going to be your online instructor this semester for personal finance. To start this video off, I'd like to just introduce myself so that you guys can get to know a little bit more about me, a little bit of my background. And then from there in this video, I'm going to jump into a little bit about the course, kind of some expectations, some different guidelines as far as contacting me, and then we'll finish it up by talking about this week. So my goal is to make videos like this every week for you. They won't be as long as this one. This one's going to be a little bit lengthy. Just because it's the first week, I want to introduce myself, go over some things real quick. But then the weeks upcoming, I'll always just kind of focus on the content for that week and just as some reminders and some tips and stuff for the upcoming assignments. So with that, let's go ahead and jump in. I'll introduce myself so you can get to know a little bit more about me. I'm excited to read your discussion post this week as we get to know each other as a class. So here's a little bit about me. So I grew up in Gilroy, California. If any of you are familiar with the Bay Area, it is in the Southern Bay Area. I served my mission in Tegucigalpa, Honduras. I met my beautiful wife while attending BYU, Idaho. We both graduated together back in 2012. We've now been married for 8 years, almost 9 years. We'll complete 9 years during this semester. We've got 3 boys right now. Ages 6, 4, and 2, and we've got another baby on the way that will be here in July. So we don't know the gender yet. We're keeping our fingers crossed that it's a girl, but if not, that's okay. We just want a happy and healthy baby. So that's exciting for our family there. We currently live in Vineyard, Utah. It's kind of a smaller city west of Orem. And one thing as a family is that we love to do things outside. We like to just get out and do things, be with each other, do different things. The picture here on the screen was from over Christmas, well actually I guess New Year's. For New Year's we went down to Moab, and down there's a couple national park, Arches and Canyonlands. This is one of the kind of the popular hikes to do at Arches. It goes to the Delicate Arch. So we, as a family, we really try to just get out and do things together. Over the past summer, we went up to Glacier National Park. We like, with little kids, we like to get out, we like to hike, we like to explore. So here's a few other pictures of us, a couple more pictures from the Moab area, some fun hike that we did to these natural bridges, and then there's some family pictures of us as well, and a pretty good picture there of our 3 boys. So that's really us as a family, just growing and living life every day. A little bit of background on myself professionally. So as I mentioned before, I did graduate from BYU, Idaho. Got my degree in mechanical engineering, went on to BYU Provo, where I continued in engineering and got a master's degree in mechanical engineering. Upon graduating with my degree in mechanical engineering from Provo, I worked as a process development engineer at a company called Nature Sunshine Products. They're a nutraceutical company is what they consider themselves. It's a fancy word for saying we make vitamins. So we make lots and lots of different vitamins. I work at their manufacturing plant. I used to do a lot of stuff with equipment, purchasing new equipment, maintaining equipment, a lot of the engineering side. I've now morphed that role into what we call a continuous improvement manager or a value stream manager, where I am working a lot with end-to-end product from development down to working with customers. So that's a little bit of what I do. So I do have a full-time day-to-day job that I go to from 8 to 5. Teaching for BYU, Idaho, or Pathway is kind of a secondary job. So I primarily focus on this during the evenings or early in the mornings. This is my 11th semester for teaching for BYU, Idaho, and Pathway. I thoroughly enjoy it. I enjoy getting to interact with you as students, helping people understand math. I know math is kind of one of those things where everyone kind of cringes a little bit and they're just like, oh, I hate math. Math isn't for me and all that. Hopefully by the end of the semester we can break down those barriers a bit. The one thing I really like about this course is that it teaches you how you can actually use math in everyday life. There is a lot of advanced math out there, and it's very useful if you are in those applications and jobs. But on a day-to-day basis, it is not very useful. As an engineer, I took a lot of math in college, and honestly, in my day-to-day job, I don't use 80% of it. But there is really, basic algebra math, basic financial principles that applies to everybody. Everybody works, everybody has bills to pay, interest rates, things like that. It's all math that you can use in everyday life. So hopefully by the end of this course, we've changed your mind a bit. If you're one of those people that are said, oh, I hate math, I can't do math, hopefully we can help you out here. Here's a little bit of contact info. My office hours are going to be Wednesdays from 8 to 10. I'll talk about that in a little bit. There's my email and my phone number, and I'll show you where you can see this all on the page so you don't have to worry about jotting this down right now. Please feel free to reach out to me with questions and comments. I'll typically try and respond within 24 hours, Monday through Friday. So I want to talk about that for a second. I work really hard to try and do everything Monday through Friday so that I can spend my Saturdays and Sundays with just my family. So I typically will be responding in the morning and the evenings to emails and texts and stuff like that, Monday through Friday. But on Saturdays, if you email me late Friday night, you're probably not going to get a response on Saturday. There are some times where I will work on a Saturday, or if I don't have anything going on, I'll check my emails. But a lot of times I try and avoid it and I wait until Monday morning. So rest assured though, if you do have a question and something doesn't get resolved on Saturday, even if I get to it to the following Monday, I'll be lenient on that, and I'll make sure that we address your concerns. So don't freak out if you email me on Friday or text me and I don't respond until Monday. So and that's just kind of a personal thing that I do. I like to try and make sure I keep that time with my family. So I appreciate it if you're understanding of that as well. So the next thing I want to touch on is just some general guidelines for the course throughout this semester. The first one is course grading. So every week you'll be submitting assignments on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Typically the ones on Wednesdays aren't ones that I'll personally go in and grade. The ones on Saturdays typically are the ones that I'll go in and grade. So I try and get all my grading done Monday through Wednesday. So hopefully by Wednesday night at the latest, you're seeing that whatever assignments you submitted are graded, and I'll be providing feedback on some of those, and you can go in and see those. My goal is to always try and have those done by Wednesday for you, so that way if you have any questions, you can ask those before the week's over. I'm not perfect on it every week. There are times where family things come up and I'm not able to do it, maybe on Monday or Tuesday. And so don't hold me to that every week it's going to be done by Wednesday, but just so you know, that is my goal. That brings me to my next topic, which is late assignments. For these first few weeks, while we're kind of working out the kinks and you're getting used to the schedule and everything, I'm not going to worry too much about late assignments. You can just, in the first few weeks, get them done. Come week 4, though, I am going to change that up a bit. And what's going to happen is, after week 4, if something's due on Saturday at midnight and you haven't submitted it, it's automatically going to give you a 0 until you submit that. Now, the quicker you can get it submitted, the more points you'll get. What will happen is there will be like a late assignment deduction, and what it is 10% per day for every day that it's late, up till 10 days, which would then be a 0. So basically you can still submit things if they're late, but you are going to receive a deduction on it. And I'll try and remember to talk about it more on week 4 when it actually happens. These first few weeks, don't worry about it. Just focus on what's coming up and all that, and getting used to the format and all that. But then on week 4, I am going to start applying that rule. So please be aware of that. and really just keep on top of things and get things done on time, and then you don't have to worry about it. Now, with that though, I do understand there are emergencies. There's times where something happens and you can't get it done because of a family issue, or your internet goes down or something like that, right? And in those cases, just reach out to me and I'll work with you. If there's an event that you know is coming up, and you know that it's not going to be possible to get something done, then please reach out to me too, and we'll take those kind of on case-by-case basis. But for the most part, just focus on trying to get things submitted on time, and then hopefully we don't have a problem there. But I will work with you if there's some sort of emergency going on, and I'm not going to deduct points from your score, even if you submit it a few days late because you had to take a kid to the hospital, or you had to go to the hospital, or your spouse, or someone like that. So in those type of scenarios, don't be thinking, oh man, I got to get my pathway assignments turned in. Just reach out to me, let me know what happened, and we'll work and figure it out together. The other thing I want to talk about is posting about questions on the discussion board. Let me pull up the web page here real quick. So this view here is when you first log into to Pathway under Canvas, and you go into the personal finance class. So I'll just kind of take you through this a little bit, and then I'll kind of jump back to what I was starting to talk about, discussion boards. So you can see here at the very top, recent announcements. Right now, what you're looking at here, there's nothing, but hopefully when you've opened the page, you've seen something, because that's how you're seeing this video. But just kind of some quick buttons there. You start here. This takes you into the coursework and your instructor iLearn tutorial. If this is your first time using Canvas, it'd be good to go in there and kind of familiarize yourself with the layout. But I believe it's been used in the prior classes too. I could be wrong on that. I only teach the math one, so I only know the math one. But if this is the first time you're seeing this layout, then definitely go in there, familiarize yourself. And then some student resources there. It has some links to like the Math Center and stuff like that. Anyway, so what I wanted to show you real quick before I talk about discussion boards is if you click on the Your Instructor, it pulls up my profile here. So you see my picture there, and then a little biography. In that biography, I've got, this is what I was saying earlier, don't worry about writing this down. It's got my email right there, and then my my phone number over here. So if you ever need to get a hold of me and not use the inbox method over here on the left, go ahead and utilize one of those other resources. So when you're under the discussions tab over here, you'll see that the pin discussions here, the week 1 icebreaker, that's a mandatory one that you all participate in, and you'll see that. What I want to talk about is in the future weeks, and for week 1 if you'd like, a way that we can communicate as a course together. So I created this discussion board called Course Questions and Comments. And if you go into here, I kind of give a little bit of an explanation to this. This discussion board will be used throughout the semester to ask general questions about the course. So what I want this discussion board to be is, if you're working on an assignment and you have a question like, is it important what the formatting is, or just some sort of general question, I'd like you to post it here. And the reason why is because chances are if you're having a question about something, then somebody else is as well. And if you post it here and people see it and I respond to it, or other classmates respond to it, then everybody's seeing that, and maybe somebody else that had that same question can get an answer. The things I don't want you to post here though are personal things. So if you have a question about your grade, or if you need an assignment extended, or retake something like that, don't post that on here. Send those to me in an email. This is more for just kind of general questions about the course. So I'll be monitoring this, daily. I'll get on, I'll check. If you ask a question, I'll respond to it there. So please feel free to use this, and in my announcements every week, I'll remind you, hey, if you've got questions, make sure you're posting them, things like that. We want this to be, there's 40 plus students in our section here, so that's a lot of resources. If you're struggling with something, the chances are there might be another classmate that could respond to that and answer it, and obviously myself. And that might help somebody else. So feel free to post on there questions. If you see somebody with a question and you know the answer to it, feel free to respond. I want it to be an open environment. So I think that's all I have for you now. Hopefully that wasn't too long for you, but just know that I'm excited to be your instructor this semester. Excited to kick things off this week. We'll be working on just getting to know each other, decimals, rounding, some addition, subtraction, multiplication, things like that, just getting into the basics. And I look forward to having a great semester with you. And if you have any questions to start off the week, please feel free to reach out, and I'd be happy to answer those for you. All right, here's to a good semester. See ya.